Stay tuned and let's check out this Marvel Legends Firestar. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who, and you can now become a channel member and press that join button. Nice and simply, show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Firestar and Little Miss Lion as well as a pack-in. So this is a very nice figure, an homage to the Spider-Man and his amazing friends. They've even got like a screenshot of the cartoon as the back of the packaging. But she comes with two heads, some interchangeable hands, and fire effects. But yeah, this is a nice character, one that's been on a lot of people's want lists for a while, and now we finally have her as a single pack sort of an online exclusive, if you will. So yeah. Happy to have her. So on the side of the box, we're getting a picture of Firestar. On the back, we get a nice little write-up that reads, Angelica Jones soars into battle, harnessing the power of microwave to combat evil as Firestar. And as I said, no wave association, so she's single packed, so you just get the nice artwork on the back. So yeah, Firestar can fit into many places in your Marvel display, so hopefully we can break those down as we go through. But yeah, looking good. Let's get her open. So here we have Firestar out of the packaging, looking very nice, I must admit. Now her origins are a little bit different, as she didn't debut in the comics. She actually debuted in the cartoon Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends in the early 80s. Now originally Spider-Man was meant to have an ice companion and a fire companion, but due to licensing they couldn't use the Human Torch, so they went with Iceman, and then they created Firestar as this brand new companion for Spider-Man, and she did eventually make her way into the comics, of course, and she is a mutant. She has the ability to manipulate micro energy to create fire and whatnot, but she's been a part of the Hellions, recruited by Emma Frost, and she's also been a part of the New Warriors as well, which is probably where she'll end up in my collection, so I'll do some comparisons as we go along. But first, just looking at the figure, very, very nice. So this second head is the one that's more accurate to the actual cartoon, and what's good about this actual figure, as a little hint to the cartoon, the back packaging is actually the base of Spider-Man and Iceman and Firestar. They had a little, I think it was like a trophy that they just pulled down, and then it would turn into this base. So if you wanted to, you could use that for some shots, or I'm sure people out there will create some dioramas and some fun stuff. But yeah, nice little Easter egg in the packaging for that cartoon. But yeah, she comes with interchangeable hands, obviously Miss Lion as well, which I'll get into in a minute. But yeah, let's take a closer look. First, let's take a look at the head that she comes packed with. Now, this one's a little bit more windswept. You can see it sort of swinging to the side there. So she's in an action pose, if you will. So I'd say this is a comic look. And I like the red lips. Again, the red hair with some of the sort of darker tones underneath there to sort of bring out some of the shading. I've got a bit of splodge in there, which is unfortunate. But still, I do like the sculpt on there all the way around, looking really good. So if you get her in some action poses, it looks like she's just been swinging or flying, because she can fly, of course. But her costume is just all yellow. Reminds me of Hellcat, so of course I'll do a comparison in a minute, but no sort of wash or dark tones on there. It's literally just yellow plastic. There is a little bit of differences on the arms, of course. So there's the arms. So there you get the sort of orange and then red into the hands. And she comes with these two sets of hands, which I'll get into in a minute. And she comes with these fire effects as well, of course, which I've seen many, many times before. These are just soft rubber that sort of just wrap around. You sort of have to just sort of finagle it and get them on there to pose how you want. But still, it sort of demonstrates her fire effects. And again, we've seen these many times in Marvel Legends form in different colours, but they do work. And these do have a bit of orange and even a bit of yellow there at the bottom, as you can see, so they do blend nicely with the figure. Moving down to the legs, again, no shading or anything, just the yellow plastic until you get to the boots, and then again you get this sort of fire effect with the orange and then the red. And I'm not going to go over articulation. This is standard Marvel Legend female body, so you know you're going to get the double jointed knees, the nice ankle pivot. She can move her legs quite far out. The waist has the ball there, so no ab crunch, but unfortunately single jointed knee elbows, and they sort of go to 90. Maybe you can manipulate it a little bit more. No, still just sort of to 90. That's about it. So again, female Marvel Legends, you know what to expect. So let me take that off. And before I swap out the head, because I like the overhead a little bit better, let's just take a look at the hand. So as you can see, she comes packed with one open palm and one fist. But of course, You can have 2 fists or 2 open palm. Now this is the head sculpt I prefer. This one sort of resembles her look from the cartoon. And yeah, the mask is a tiny bit different. You can see it's a bit more pointy rather than sort of having those flares you can see on that one. So there is a difference with the mask, and as well, you can see the lips are a lot redder on this sort of windswept hair, and they're a little bit more subtle and pink here. Of course, the hair sort of sits over the collar as well, but she still flicks out to the side. She's clearly just been to the salon and got her hair did, but there's some dark wash or whatever. But yeah, nice sculpt. I do like it, and I think this will work well if you want the look from the cartoon. So yeah, a fan of this one, of course. And again, just looking very, very nice. And last but certainly not least, let's take a look at her accessory, which is more than an accessory, it's a character. It's Miss Lion. Now this is technically Aunt May's pet. So does that mean Marvel Legend Aunt May confirmed? You heard it here first. But yeah, this is more than just a little plastic figure. It actually has articulation. So the head will rotate, as you can see, very nicely. So it has that, but it also goes up and down. So if I put it to the side, you can see the head goes up and down, up and down. So more articulation there than I expected. So you can sort of portray a little bit of emotion on this tiny little dog. The rest of the figure though is of course just a molded sort of bit of plastic. But the sculpt works really nice, and there's not really any wash on there, but if you wanted to, you could do a bit of dry brush, and I think the shadows just make it look darker at the bottom. Or maybe it is darker. No, I guess there is a bit of a darker grey at the bottom there on the fur. And then of course you've got the little bows in her hair. But yeah, Miss Lion in the cartoon is a little bit darker. She's not really grey or white. She's a little bit more brownish in colour. But again, I don't mind it. I'd still rather have a Miss Lion than no Miss Lion. And here you can see Angela can hold Miss Lion no problems at all. And they look pretty sweet together. And there in the background, I've got the cutout from the actual packaging. So you could use that for a few little shots if you wanted to. But yeah, overall, very happy with these. I definitely think Angelica's one of these characters that are going to look a lot more fun once you get her posed up on a flight stand or something with your collection. Her bright costume is going to make her stand out a little bit compared to some other figures on your shelf with the yellows and the reds and the orange tone. But overall, very happy with this figure. As I said, Firestar's been on a lot of people want lists for a long time, whether they've wanted it for the animated lineup or even the Hallions or New Warriors. But overall, very happy with how this looks. And again, she's going to look great posed up on the flight stand, no matter which head you want to use. But yeah, she comes with 2 sets of hands, some fire effects, 2 heads, and Miss Lion. So as a replacement for a Build-A-Figure, no complaints from me at all. So let's do some comparisons. And this was obviously the biggest comparison people wanted to see, and I honestly think they look great together. So here we have Spider-Man and his amazing friends all in figure form from a cartoon in way back in the 80s, and these are probably the most accurate versions you're going to get. I do think Iceman needs to be a little bit bluer, and obviously he's got that big line down the face, so I do think a redo on the Iceman would be a good go. But with the new retro Spider-Man and this Firestar, you're off to a great start. So yeah, these 3 on the shelf together are going to look great, no problems at all, and I do think this scale is perfect as well. So I've switched heads because I do think this is a more comic look, and as I did mention earlier, she got recruited by Emma Frost and was part of the Hallions for a while in the comics, and I love this Emma Frost figure, but she cannot stand at all. This is from the San Diego Hellfire box set, of course, so I'm using some of my figure stands from Toying Around, so thank you very much, Kevin, from Toying Around. Go and check him out, of course. I got sent them by Dante and the Infinity Equation podcast. I do love this community sometimes. But yeah, obviously she's a little bit taller anyway because she's wearing the heels, but she is also on those stands as well. But just as another comic character female, let's bring in Hellcat, as I'm talking about Hallions. Obviously she was nothing to do with the Hallions, but she does have Hal in her name. But yeah, obviously this costume design reminded me of Hellcat. Now Hellcat's on a sort of a different female body, so obviously the proportion is a little bit wonky looking at Hellcat now compared to these 2. But you can see Hellcat, she does have some sort of darker sort of wash or orange darker tone over the yellow costume, so it does look a little bit different. That would have been nice on this Firestar, I think, but either or, they still look great. Honestly, this is probably where Firestar will end up in my collection, displayed with the New Warriors, because after a time with the Hallions, she was recruited yet again, but this time by Night Thrasher to join the New Warriors. So here we have Night Thrasher and Rage. We're still missing a couple of characters from the New Warriors, Speedball, for example, so hopefully we'll see him in the future, but still, she's going to look very nice displayed with these 2 because both of these 2 are wearing all black, so this yellow will stand out on the display, will look very nice in contrast. So yeah, Firestar, New Warriors, looking good. And finally, just so Miss Lion doesn't feel left out, here we have Miss Lion compared to another Marvel pet companion with Jeff the Land Shark. So now they have a friend. So final thoughts, I'm obviously very happy with this Firestar. I think this is a great representation of the character, whether it's from the comics or from the TV show. I do think if you've wanted Firestar in your collection, you should be happy with her. As I said, get her up on a flight stand just like this. You can get her posed up looking nice, and she's definitely going to stand out amongst the other figures on your display because she's bright yellow. She's Firestar, and I do like that windswept hair while she's on the flight stand. It looks great. So as always, you let me know what you think in the comments below, and let me know where you're going to put her on your display. Are you going to have her with Spider-Man and his amazing friends, or are you going to put her with the Hellions, or is she a new warrior? Let me know your thoughts. Where should she be in the display in the comments below? But until then, people, you know what to do. Support the channel. Please, please, please hit that subscribe button, and if you do want to contribute that little bit more, you can become a channel member and hit that join button. Simply show some love or join the members club. Either or is much appreciated. And as always, you can follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who, and I will of course see you on the next one.